Hi guys, and welcome back to another FIFA 21 video. In today's video, once again, it's just kind of preparing for FIFA's release in a couple of weeks' time, going over different things I've been thinking about and kind of what we can invest in. Different ways forward to make coins early, different routes I'm going to go down, just looking all in all at different players on the market or from previous markets. So today's video, I'm just going to discuss kind of investing and whether you go long term, short term, kind of the ways you can do it. Obviously, it all depends on the coin balance you have, and doing quick flips is probably going to be better for you in the short term, but in the long term, you can probably make quite a bit of money on some holds. So before we get into the video, please do make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. And comment down below if you've got any ideas on kind of things you want to do to make coins, and see if we can kind of get some more ideas from further videos going forward. So, I suppose investing. There's a difference between investing and quick flips. Both are an investment, but there's the long hold and there's the quick turnover. So on the quick turnover, you're buying a card and looking to instantly list that back up for a higher price and sell it. And then you have the hold where you buy a card, you may list it instantly, but you're listing for substantially higher than the card is on the market for at the moment, or at least quite a bit higher. So there's ones that could work, and it's like stacking fodder, for example, cards that are going to be used in SBCs to boost ratings, so 83 plus cards that are going to bring the rating up on an SBC and kind of go from there. So one I done last year, I done kind of the quick hold and, sorry, one I done last year was Tadic. I done the quick flip and I done the long hold on him. So last year it was like £2 at release. Hit down here was his lowest point, and this is kind of where I started. It was what, about a month in, yeah, about a month into kind of the cycle I started doing this. Whereas if I started it earlier, there'd have been fear of a drop at one point, but then boom, you see the huge increase. I think that's around the time that the first Icon SBCs were coming out and people were grinding more kind of packs through SBCs. But what you aim to do is you aim to buy, and if you look daily, the price is fluctuating massively, very quickly changing. So on the quick flip side of it, if you were using Tadic, you'd be buying him, say you bought him here for 2,570, you'd look to, or that's what his price was going at, you'd look to buy him below that at like say 2,300 and below, and then list up at 2,600 to sell. Whereas on the long hold, you'd look to buy him for, say for example, even if you bought him at the 2,500 mark at the same point, you'd look to hold for the SBC demand to increase, and at that point you can double your money. So I done a mix of this. At first with Tadic, I bought loads of him, and I just bought and sold and quick flip, and I made a lot of coins on that, a lot. And then I put something like 2 million coins into him. It took ages, but I put about 2 million coins in at 2.5 grand, and I think I sold around the 3 grand mark, 3.5 grand. Whereas if I held on, I could have got about 5 for him, so I could have doubled my money, but I was a bit too scared to be honest. And the amount of money I made on it was a really good trade, so I was happy with that. And it works with all different kind of players. So if we go on here for players, it's going to be difficult now because I just want normal golds. So if I just go gold rare, oh here we go. So if we go through it, it will work with most players that are like fodder players, for example. So let's find someone who would be more fodder based. So you just want to find someone that's not going to be used often. Obviously at the moment, like some of the prices are huge at the moment, I think because there's such little demand. But if you look here, for whatever reason, he must have capped out. But yeah, so you look here. So once again, this is an 85 rated card, Ziyech. If you look at the beginning, his price was anywhere between, what, 6 grand at the very beginning and about 8 grand here. But then, same time, SBC started to come out where you need higher rated cards, and boom, he doubled in price. Or just a bit more than doubled. So you saw a huge dip. He must have had a team of the week here. I assume a team of the week's there. So a big dip, he's obviously, oh no, that wouldn't make sense. Something must have happened with him here. Maybe price cap was hit. And then, yeah, look, his price shoots up from here. And then it flattens off here, and then bam, all of a sudden, for some reason at the end of the game he's worth like 40k. Maybe it's because he's got a transfer, I don't know. it might be needed for an SBC. I'm not too sure. I haven't touched FIFA for this kind of period here, so just this bit is the bit I know. So once again, it's a long hold. You're holding for about a month and a bit. You could be holding, but obviously along the way you could be buying them and selling them for a bit more to lazy buyers, for example, as you go. But you can see there's consistent increases, and he ended up reaching 14k, which is just ridiculous. When he was down here, 6, 7 grand. So if you can get some coins early, sitting on fodder isn't the worst thing to do. Other players that would be, you want to look for ones kind of with like leagues that aren't going to be used as much, and nationalities that aren't going to be hybrided. But once again, if you look, it's always the same time. That November time must have been the Icon SBCs, I think. But yeah, look, low here, and then all of a sudden you need higher rate of cards, and then bang, doubled in price. In a space of a week, he doubled in price. Obviously, it's very difficult to predict that that's going to happen, but you know by going on the previous trends it does. So, Onana, he was one I used a lot to make coins. Once again, buying on bid, very low price. So I remember around this mark here, I think I was picking them up at like high 2000s and selling them for mid 3000s. And then once again, he over doubles in price in that time. He takes a massive slump here. You need to get rid of him early. Well, I say early, that's like a few months later. So once again, what's going on with this? Why is this only February? Okay, Onana's, the graph here doesn't actually add up to the correct dates. I don't know why. Maybe that's an upgrade card. It may have been a lower rate I was using, because that one didn't look right to me. I'm just going through and looking for other ones that would kind of fit the same kind of range. Kepa. Problem being with Kepa, and this is why he won't work, unless you buy him when he slumps down here a month into the game, or a few. Obviously, Kepa's not going to be a good one this year. Don't get me wrong, he's got a bad card, but he started really high because he's Premier League, Spanish, Chelsea, popular card. He then took a massive dive here, and this is kind of when you look and you go, right, an 84 rate at 2.5 grand, get on that, and then all of a sudden his price has risen again, and you're getting another couple of grand back from him. You're actually getting quite decent returns there. So this thing is looking when these high rated cards that are SBC, Hamsik, another one, you'll see the same trend here. So 5 grand flat out and then bang. It's almost as if he might. I think he had a price cap at the bottom end of him. You couldn't sell him for less than 5 grand. I remember that. He then dropped. They lowered his price cap and he was going for 2 grand. Imagine if you put like millions in there. He then goes up to 6 grand when he was needed, because he boosts the team. 84 rated cards are needed for SBCs. And this is one of the tactics that I'm going to follow this year. It's one that's not necessarily the best tactic, but it works. The idea behind it, though, is you're sitting on cards for a long time. If you like opening packs, you can't do it when you're in the unassigned, so it can be difficult. Maybe you just want to use 100 at a time, or 80 at a time, keep 20 spare in your trade list, and that way you can always work within kind of your limits without going into your unassigned. However, I probably will go unassigned. I did last year and I will this year. So that's one method. So the other one is consumable trading. So consumables are a very good way of making money. So people early on, if you can sweep up shadows, hunters, and you can get them coins in early, because this year they upped the price range from up to 20 grand now, so that's a huge amount. Well, they used to max out at 5 grand, then I think they maxed out at 10, and now they've gone to 20. So if you could buy shadows and hunters in the early game web app, for example, if you get on the web app and you can sweep some up for a few thousand when people are desperate to get coins in from their packs, you put them and you stack them in your club, because they will become extinct. They're so difficult to get all the time. The other ones that can be good that you can pick up cheap, I believe it's Hawk, and yes, the other one that's good is Hawk and Anchor. So these two are used massively in attacking and defensive cards. They're the cheaper options to the Hunter and the Shadow, but Hunter and Shadow are the ones where you can really get a lot of money from. So if you can pick them up cheap early and keep them stacked in the club, you should be able to see a good return on that. It's one that's quite simple, but once again, it takes an investment. So if you don't have a lot of coins, that can sink you. But once again, you can do standard trading methods of buying low, selling high quickly with these cards on a quick flip basis. So if we go on the cost here, so shadows are 12,250. So if you sell at 12,250, you are taxed 613 coins. So you know here that if you buy at 1 second, if you buy at 11,683 coins, wow, mixed that up. So if you buy at 11,638 coins, you're going to be able to sell for a slight profit, basically. Or if you buy at 11,500, you can sell for 138 coins profit each card. So that's one basis on it. But if you can buy them lower than that, so if you snipe at 11,500, always guarantee yourself that 138 coins. But you get a load below, that's when you make big money, and people put them up for like 1,000 less and stuff. They want a quick sale. So if you're quick enough, you can do well. That works on players as well. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I look forward to kind of hearing what you thought about kind of the two methods we covered, and there'll be more coming soon and discussing more, obviously, FIFA 21 content. So like I said, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video. Cheers.